Are you ready to turn heads? Luxury isn't just worn, it's experienced. Introducing a Layla Cara style and new up-and-coming designer collection where exclusive shoes and bags for men and women meets your feet. How about you take a handbag and wear it in style, where each piece is personally designed by Layla Cara herself and handcrafted from the finest material in Italy. Leather, smooth like butter, bold, timeless, distinctly you. Step into true elegance and make your mark with a Layla Cara style where confidence meets craftsmanship. Visit a Layla Cara style and experience the luxury of art that you wear.
Chapter 11, Cultivating Healthy Relationships. So, believe it or not, after dealing with a narcissist for a period of time, you can still have a healthy relationship with people. Now, I help individuals who have been victimized of being a victim dealing with a narcissist. But if a narcissist recognize that they are narcissists and they want to change their behavior, then it's easy to help them if they are willing to accept the help and then work towards getting the help. But that is still a challenging task. And if they have any type of underlying condition, such as something else that is a mental condition, like for instance, my first husband, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and a person like him, I couldn't help. I wouldn't even try it. I would refer him to a real life therapist. See, I'm a life coach. I'm a certified life coach. What I do is help an individual, and I help them, and by walking them step by step through process that they can do without medication and treatment of trying to do things to them. Versus that's what a therapist and psychotherapy and all that would do. They would prescribe medication and all that. I don't do that. Now, I am on the lower end where you are just a normal person and you just happen to get into a situation that altered your life by your decision making. You made bad choices. Now, I can help you make better choices, but you have to be willing to want to change your life for the better. I do not force myself on no one. I do not force any tactics or techniques or anything on anybody. This is a self-will journey that you have to be willing to do this yourself. And if you're not willing to do it, then I don't bother with you. I just leave you be. But when you come to me and you're like, hey, I want you to help me, this is what's going on with me. Of course, we evaluate making sure that we are a good fit, because personality and your personality must fit together. It cannot be clashing with each other. And I don't put my beliefs off on anyone. So because I'm a believer of Christ doesn't mean that you have to be. Matter of fact, we won't even discuss anything in that era. I just gave you my story so you'll know who I am, what I've been through, and the things that I did to change my life for the better and how it worked for me. That's a choice that you have to make on your own, what you choose to do. So in the process of me helping you, I put myself in a position to understand you, to get a better understanding of who you are and how you got to where you are, and then where you really want to be at, how you are going to get there. So that's where I come in at. I come in an era where I can help you to start the path of getting to where you want to be. I can't take you there, but I can help you get on that path to get you in a position to start going down the right path, and then go from there. So chapter 11, cultivating healthy relationships. Let's go ahead and listen to that.
Chapter 11, Cultivating Healthy Relationships. If you have just gotten out of a relationship with a narcissist, before you get back into another relationship with anyone, no matter how nice they seem to be to you and to your children, you will need to go through a detox period to get yourself ready. By cultivating a healthy relationship after leaving a relationship with a narcissist can be a transformative journey. Here are some steps to help you navigate this process and build a healthy relationship. Reflect on your experience. Take time to reflect on your previous relationship with a narcissist. Identify patterns of behavior that were harmful or unhealthy, and consider how they impacted your well-being and sense of self-worth. Acknowledge any lessons you've learned from the experience, and use them as insights for future relationships. Focus on self-healing. Prioritize your own emotional healing and well-being before entering into a new relationship. Engage in self-care activities that nurture your mind, body, and soul, such as therapy, mindfulness practices, exercise, journaling, or spending time with supportive friends and family members. Give yourself permission to grieve the loss of the relationship and to process any lingering emotions or trauma. Set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries in your new relationship to protect yourself from potential harm or manipulation. Communicate your needs, preferences, and limits openly and assertively, and expect your partner to respect and honor them. Be vigilant for any red flags or warning signs of narcissistic behavior and address them promptly. Build trust through communication. Cultivate open, honest, and transparent communication with your partner as the foundation of your relationship. Share your thoughts, feelings, and concerns openly, and listen actively to your partner's perspective with empathy and understanding. Establishing trust and mutual respect is essential for fostering intimacy and connection. Practice assertiveness and self-advocacy. Develop assertiveness skills to advocate for your needs, express your boundaries, and assert your independence within the relationship. Assertive communication involves speaking up for yourself respectfully and confidently, without resorting to aggression or passivity. Asserting your boundaries and needs helps maintain a healthy balance of power and autonomy in the relationship. Prioritize mutual respect and equality. Cultivate a relationship based on mutual respect, equality, and reciprocity. Value each other's opinions, preferences, and autonomy, and strive to make decisions collaboratively. Avoid power struggles or dynamics of control, and prioritize fairness, empathy, and compromise in resolving conflicts or disagreements. Celebrate individual identities. Honor and celebrate each other's individual identities, interests, and goals within the relationship. Encourage personal growth and self-expression, and support each other's aspirations and passions. A healthy relationship allows for individuality and encourages each partner to thrive independently while also nurturing the bond they share. Seek support and guidance. Don't hesitate to seek support from trusted friends, family members, or a therapist as you navigate the challenges of building a healthy relationship after leaving a narcissistic partner. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift and support you, and lean on them for guidance, encouragement, and validation as you embark on this new chapter of your life. Remember that cultivating a healthy relationship takes time, patience, and effort from both partners. Be gentle with yourself as you navigate the process, and trust your instincts to guide you towards a relationship that honors and respects your worth as an individual. Recognizing and fostering healthy relationship dynamics. Recognizing and fostering healthy relationship dynamics is essential for building strong, fulfilling connections with others. Here are some key principles and strategies to help you cultivate healthy relationships. Communication. Effective communication is the cornerstone of a healthy relationship. Practice active listening, express yourself honestly and respectfully, and encourage open dialogue with your partner. Communicate your needs, feelings, and boundaries clearly, and be receptive to your partner's perspective. Trust and respect. Trust and respect form the foundation of a healthy relationship. Build trust by being reliable, consistent, and transparent in your actions and words. Respect your partner's autonomy, opinions, and boundaries, and treat them with kindness, empathy, and consideration. Boundaries. Establish and maintain clear boundaries in your relationship to protect your emotional and physical well-being. Communicate your boundaries assertively and enforce them consistently, respecting your partner's boundaries in return. Healthy boundaries foster a sense of safety, security, and mutual respect in the relationship. Equality and partnership. Cultivate a relationship based on equality, collaboration, and partnership. Share responsibilities, decision-making, and power dynamics fairly, and strive to create a sense of balance and reciprocity in your interactions. Avoid dynamics of control, manipulation, or codependency, and prioritize cooperation and mutual support. Empathy and understanding. Practice empathy and understanding towards your partner, acknowledging their thoughts, feelings, and experiences with compassion and validation. Put yourself in their shoes, listen attentively to their perspective, and respond with empathy and kindness, even during times of conflict or disagreement. Conflict resolution. Approach conflict as an opportunity for growth and understanding rather than as a threat to the relationship. Use constructive communication techniques such as active listening, I statements, and compromise to resolve conflicts peacefully and collaboratively. Focus on finding mutually satisfying solutions that honor both partners' needs and preferences. Emotional support. Offer emotional support and validation to your partner during times of stress, challenge, or vulnerability. Be present, attentive, and empathetic, and validate their feelings without judgment or criticism. Create a safe space for open expression and vulnerability, and reassure your partner of your love and support. Quality time and connection. Prioritize quality time and connection with your partner to nurture intimacy. Intimacy is not sex, and strengthen your bond. Engage in activities that you both enjoy, share meaningful conversations, and cultivate rituals of connection such as date nights or shared hobbies. Invest in building emotional intimacy and connection through quality time spent together. Personal growth and development. Encourage personal growth and development in yourself and your partner, supporting each other's aspirations, goals, and interests. Celebrate each other's achievements and milestones, and provide encouragement, motivation, and affirmation as you both strive towards your individual and shared dreams. Self-care and individuality. Prioritize self-care and individuality within the relationship, honoring your own needs, interests, and boundaries. Maintain a healthy balance between time spent together and time spent pursuing your individual passions and interests. Embrace your unique identity and strengths and encourage your partner to do the same. By recognizing and fostering these healthy relationship dynamics, you can create a strong, supportive, and fulfilling partnership built on trust, respect, empathy, and mutual growth. Setting boundaries and practicing self-care. I talked about setting boundaries throughout this entire book. I want to express how important it is in any situation, especially in your relationship with people. If you fail to set boundaries with others, you are giving them permission to walk all over you. Remember that people only do to you what you allow them to do. You have the power to control you, not them. Setting boundaries and practicing self-care are essential components of maintaining mental and emotional well-being in relationships. Here's how you can effectively set boundaries and prioritize self-care. Identify your needs and limits. Take time to reflect on your needs, values, and priorities in different areas of your life, including relationships, work, and personal time. Identify areas where you may need to set boundaries to protect your well-being, such as time, space, emotions, and physical boundaries. Communicate assertively. Communicate your boundaries assertively and clearly to others, including your partner, friends, family members, and colleagues. Use I statements to express your needs and preferences, and be firm and direct in setting and enforcing your boundaries. Avoid apologizing or justifying your boundaries, as they reflect your self-respect and autonomy.
We'll be back after a quick break.
If you haven't already, check out my luxury shoe and bag collection, a Layla Cara style. Each piece is personally designed by me and handcrafted from genuine Italian leather. Whether you're dressing up or keeping it casual, these pieces were made to help you walk with confidence. Because real style starts from how you feel. Go to alaylacarolstyle.com and experience these bold, timeless, and completely all you. Check it out. You might find something you like.
Be consistent. Consistency is key to maintaining healthy boundaries over time. Be consistent in enforcing your boundaries and responding to boundary violations, even if it feels uncomfortable or difficult. Consistency sends a clear message to others about your limits and expectations, reinforcing respect for your boundaries. Practice self-awareness. Cultivate self-awareness to recognize when your boundaries are being challenged or violated. Pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations, and trust your instincts to guide you in setting and maintaining appropriate boundaries. Notice any signs of discomfort or resentment as indicators that your boundaries may need adjustment. Prioritize self-care. Prioritize self-care as an essential aspect of maintaining your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Dedicate time and resources to activities that nourish and replenish you, such as exercise, meditation, hobbies, relaxation techniques, or spending time in nature. Make self-care a non-negotiable part of your routine, and honor your need for rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation. Set limits on technology and social media. Establish boundaries around technology and social media usage to prevent overwhelm and burnout. Set limits on screen time, notifications, and online interactions to create space for meaningful connections, leisure activities, and relaxation. Be mindful of the impact of technology on your mental and emotional well-being and prioritize real-life experiences and relationships. Seek support. Surround yourself with supportive individuals who respect and honor your boundaries, and seek support from trusted friends, family members, life coach, or a therapist when needed. Surrounding yourself with a supportive network can provide validation, encouragement, and guidance as you navigate boundary setting and self-care. Practice saying no. Learn to say no assertively and without guilt or apology when your boundaries are challenged or when you need to prioritize your own needs and well-being. Saying no is an act of self-care and self-respect, and it allows you to honor your limits and conserve your energy for what truly matters to you. Don't be afraid to cut people off and let them go. You will be surprised how much weight will be lifted off you. Reevaluate and adjust. Regularly reevaluate your boundaries and self-care practices to ensure they align with your evolving needs, circumstances, and priorities. Be willing to adjust your boundaries as necessary and to make self-care a dynamic and adaptive process that grows and evolves along with you. Be kind to yourself. Be kind and compassionate to yourself as you navigate the process of setting boundaries and practicing self-care. Acknowledge that boundary setting and self-care are ongoing practices that require patience, self-compassion, and self-reflection. Celebrate your progress and growth, and remember that prioritizing your well-being is an act of self-love and empowerment. By setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care, you can create a strong foundation for mental and emotional well-being, cultivate healthier relationships, and live a more fulfilling and balanced life. Learn to love yourself first. Red flags to watch for in potential partners. Stop ignoring the red flags, they are there to protect us. When entering into a new relationship, it's important to be mindful of potential red flags that may indicate unhealthy or problematic behavior. While every relationship is unique, here are some common red flags to watch for in potential partners. Lack of respect. Pay attention to how your potential partner treats you and others. Disrespectful behavior, such as belittling, mocking, or dismissing your thoughts and feelings, is a significant red flag that may indicate a lack of empathy and consideration. Controlling behavior. Beware of signs of controlling behavior, such as monitoring your whereabouts, dictating your actions, or isolating you from friends and family. Healthy relationships are built on mutual trust, respect, and autonomy, not control or manipulation. Jealousy and possessiveness. Excessive jealousy or possessiveness can be indicative of insecurity and mistrust in a relationship. Watch for signs of jealousy, such as accusations, interrogations, or attempts to control your interactions with others. Lack of accountability. Take note of how your potential partner responds to mistakes or conflicts. A lack of accountability, such as blaming others, making excuses, or refusing to apologize, may indicate an unwillingness to take responsibility for their actions. Unpredictable mood swings. Pay attention to fluctuations in your potential partner's mood and behavior. Extreme mood swings, erratic behavior, or emotional volatility may be indicative of underlying mental health issues or instability. Disregard for boundaries. Respect for boundaries is essential in healthy relationships. Watch for signs of boundary violations, such as pressuring you into unwanted physical or emotional intimacy, ignoring your stated boundaries, or refusing to respect your personal space and privacy. Gaslighting and manipulation. Be wary of gaslighting, manipulation, or emotional manipulation tactics designed to undermine your perception of reality or control your behavior. Gaslighting tactics may include denial, minimization, or distortion of facts to make you doubt yourself or question your sanity. Addictive behaviors. Substance abuse or addictive behaviors, such as excessive drinking, drug use, or gambling, can significantly impact a relationship's health and stability. Pay attention to signs of addiction or dependency, and consider how they may affect your potential partner's ability to maintain a healthy relationship. Disregard for consent. Consent is essential in any healthy relationship. Watch for signs of disregard for consent, such as pressuring or coercing you into sexual activities without your explicit consent or ignoring your boundaries and preferences. Lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Beware of signs of a lack of empathy, such as indifference to your emotions, dismissiveness of your concerns, or a lack of compassion for others' experiences and perspectives. It's important to trust your instincts and listen to your gut feelings when evaluating potential partners. If something feels off or if you notice any red flags, it's essential to take them seriously and consider whether the relationship is healthy and mutually respectful. Don't hesitate to seek support from trusted friends, family members, life coach, or a therapist if you have concerns about a potential partner's behavior. Do not be afraid to cut them off and let them go. Case study. Here is an example of someone ignoring the red flags. There was a woman named Rose who was eager to find love and companionship. She had been single for a while and longed for a partner to share her life with. One day, she met a charming man named Jack. He was charismatic, attentive, and seemed to sweep Rose off her feet from the very beginning. As Rose and Jack spent more time together, she couldn't help but notice a few red flags in their relationship. Jack tended to be overly possessive, often questioning her about her whereabouts and becoming jealous when she spent time with friends or family. He also had a quick temper, and Rose noticed that he would sometimes lash out in anger over minor disagreements. Despite these warning signs, Rose chose to ignore them, convinced that Jack's love for her would outweigh any flaws in their relationship. She made excuses for his behavior, telling herself that he was just passionate or that he had been hurt in the past and needed time to heal. As their relationship progressed, the red flags became harder to ignore. Jack's possessiveness escalated, and he began to isolate Rose from her loved ones, insisting that he was the only one who truly cared about her. He would become increasingly controlling, dictating what she could wear, who she could see, and even where she could go. Despite feeling uneasy about the situation, Rose found herself trapped in a cycle of denial and rationalization. She convinced herself that things would get better if she just tried harder to please Jack or if she gave him more time to change. She was afraid of being alone and didn't want to admit to herself that she had made a mistake in choosing Jack as a partner. As time went on, Rose's relationship with Jack became increasingly toxic and abusive. She suffered emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, and even physical violence at his hands. It wasn't until she reached a breaking point and sought help from friends, family, and signed up for a life coach at imagingcoaching.com that she was able to find the strength to leave the relationship for good. Looking back, Rose realized that she had ignored the red flags in her relationship with Jack because she was afraid of being alone and desperate for love and validation. She learned the hard way that ignoring warning signs in a potential partner can have serious consequences, and vowed to trust her instincts and prioritize her own well-being in future relationships. Chapter 12: The Journey to Self-Reflection.
Okay, so chapter 11. As you can tell, that red flags are very important. So remember earlier in the book I had spoken about ignoring
The journey
red
to
flags.
self-reflection
Sorry
is a
about
deeply...
that. Remember earlier in the book I said ignoring red flags can be very dangerous for you. Now, as you can tell, that Rose, she was ignoring red flags. You know, there's a lot of roses out there. I said a lot of roses, but actually it is. And I'm not talking about a rose bush. I'm talking about people like Rose. There are a lot of people like her, whether in male or female. There's a lot of roses out there. People don't want to be alone. We wasn't designed to be alone. We were designed to be with somebody, having a person as our partner and sharing a life with someone. But what a problem come in at is when we are not patient to wait for that particular partner to show up. Or for the male's perspective, when you look for a partner based off of physical. Because women, when we have been through some trauma dealing with past relationships, we let our insecurity drive us to where we don't trust you. Can't say we don't trust the other person, like another woman or whatever. No, we don't trust you. And when we don't trust you because of our past experience, it's going to be hard for you to deal with us in a relationship where insecurities and jealousy is there when it's pertaining to a woman. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to a man who's being jealous and controlling. So women don't really tend to lash out by always want to be physically abusive. Mainly men are to the woman, and that to him is his way of being able to control her. Is that if I let her know she ain't all that, like when my ex-husband Nikita was saying, you ain't all that. And I used to say to myself, I never told him I was all that. I don't act like I'm all that. So where is this coming from? But in my mind, I started thinking like, Maybe because I am all that and he knows it, and he's trying to figure out how someone like me would be with a person like him. And so he wants to belittle me and make me feel bad about myself so I won't leave him. Of course, that didn't work because I ended up leaving him anyway. But when a man feels like he's intimidated or abusive man, a person who's dealing with insecurities and all those things, it can become really dangerous for that woman, because if she's not careful, she'll find herself trapped. And what I mean by being trapped is that's when the babies come along. Now he wants to have babies by her, so he definitely will have some type of connection to her for the rest of her life. And when the babies come along and you're having babies by this man who is insecure or possessive, controlling, or narcissist, all those things, now you have to deal with this man for the rest of your life. You have to figure out a way to co-parent with him if y'all split, and it can be really hard at that moment. Now, what I want to say about that situation is this. If you are a woman and you have a child with a person who's that way, the best thing to do is to get the courts involved. I'm saying this because now you're going to have to figure out a way to deal with this narcissistic man in visitation rights for your children, and document every single thing that this person does. And I mean video, audio, photos, other witnesses, whatever. Because if he's a danger to your children, all that needs to be documented. That way you can eventually get full custody of your child and you don't have to have him involved in the child's life at all. Which is hard to do because you want your children to have both parents, but if it's unhealthy, then it's even worse to have both parents if one parent is very toxic to that child, and now that child's going to grow up to be just like that toxic parent, or that passive parent, which is you, because you're being passive and you're allowing that man to treat you the way he's treating you. That's not easy. And I'm not an expert in this department because I don't have any children with a narcissist, and the child that I do have, I adopted him, and I happen to not have to worry about that part. It's just the fact that that's why a lot of women stay in these relationships with these men, these toxic men, because they're afraid of breaking up the home. But you really do more harm to the child than you would do any good to that child if you don't get rid of that toxic relationship. I hope that this is helpful. Also, I want to touch base on red flags. So, red flags, I mentioned that they're there to help us. It's just like a stop sign. The stop sign tells you to stop because there may be another car coming, or there might be something in the road, and it gives you the time to observe your surroundings before you continue to cross that road. Same thing with the train. When the lights come on, start flashing, and the rail comes down, that is a flag. That is a red flag that's telling you danger, danger, danger. Please stop. Don't go across this track because here come a train. That's the same thing with relationships and red flags. They are there to protect us. And every time we ignore a red flag, we are putting ourselves in potential harm. We're potentially giving ourselves the chance to play Russian roulette with our lives. And you have to make sure that you are not doing that. Now, for those of you who don't know what Russian roulette means, what that is a game that a person would play with a gun. You take a revolver, one of those 6 shooters. You put one bullet in that chamber and you spin that revolver, the wheel around, and you don't look at where that bullet is at, and you just put it up to your head and you pull the trigger and hoping that that's not where the bullet is going to come out at. And then it might not come out. Then you're like, whew, oh my God, I almost killed myself. Then you do it again, and then nope, okay, it didn't come out that time either. And then on that third time or that fourth time, now the bullet comes out and boom, you're dead. You just shot yourself because you played Russian roulette with yourself. And that's what you do when you ignore red flags. You're playing Russian roulette with your life and the potential lives of your children. If you don't have any children yet and you end up having kids with a person who's a narcissist or have mental problems, stop ignoring these red flags. You cannot fix everybody. I'm sorry, you can't fix them. Once you understand that you're not their savior, that you cannot fix them, and you walk away from that toxic relationship, you will be better off. And it is best to walk away early as possible. Look for these red flags in people very, very early on in your relationship. When you get into a relationship with anybody, you need to be looking for red flags. You need to have your eyes open and your ears wide open. And listen to what they're saying and listen to what they're not saying. When you ask questions, what is it that they're not telling you? You need to have that thought in your mind too. Or if they are saying something, are they telling me this directly or are they saying indirectly? Pay attention to what it is that's been said to you. Now, when you watch someone's behavior, so here's the example of a red flag that I had with Nikita. When we first started dating, he had issues with his family members. He wasn't talking to his dad. He wasn't talking to pretty much any of his aunts and his cousins. And that should have been a very red flag to me because I am very family oriented. Like I am connected to my family on both sides, my mom and my dad's side of the family. I'm connected with them. We talk, we have family reunions, we go around each other, we console each other, we are there for each other. So when we help, we're there with each other. And he didn't do that, and he wasn't doing that. And he had every excuse of why he was not like that. And it was always someone else's fault, not his. And he was trying to say to me, they did this to me, and this is why. And I remember this one situation, he was talking about his half-sister or his stepsister. It was really his stepsister because it wasn't his dad's child. It was his dad's wife's child. And he mentioned something about an incident that happened with them when they was younger. But I wasn't sure how long ago this situation occurred. I just remember him talking about it. And the way he expressed it, it was almost like it just happened a couple of days ago. That's how much emotions came from him when he was telling me the story. And so I just simply asked him, I say, how long ago did this happen? And he said, oh, it was 15 years ago. I said, what? You telling me that you are holding on to this situation, a grudge that happened 15 years ago? How old is your stepsister now? And he was like, oh, she's in her 20s. So that means she was a kid when this happened. Oh my goodness. And I knew at that moment that something was not right with him. And I should have took that as a red flag because it really was. And understood that this is how he was. He was not going to let go of anything. It was always going to be something that he uses to hang over a person's head to keep from showing mercy and forgiveness towards that person. If you are around someone like that, please take that as a red flag and do not ignore it, because that is what could happen with you when you do something to them that they don't like. Now they're going to hold that grudge against you for the rest of your life, and it will never go away. No matter how much you try to apologize to them, it's still going to be an issue. I'm going to give you another example. So I remember when I was married to Nikita, I forgot what it was that I did. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't really a big deal. Not to me, it wasn't. But it was enough to where I just like, you know what, let me just apologize about this and then, let this be over with. That I came to him to apologize. And I said, you know what, this is my first time ever doing this because it's my first time I ever had to apologize for something that I did. And so I came to him and I said, I want to apologize to you. I'm sorry for what I did and I'm never going to do this again. I shouldn't have done that. And his reaction was the worst reaction that anyone can give you, especially with all the things he have already done to me prior, leading up to that. And he tells me with a straight face, sitting on the bed and look at me, and he said, I will only believe you when you show me that you are sorry. I will only believe that you're truly sorry when you show it to me. I don't believe you. And I said, wow. I looked at him. I said, you know what? I'm glad that you showed me this part about yourself. Because now I truly know that you don't have a heart. You are cold-blooded. Oh, you're cold-blooded. As much as you have done to me, and I have forgiven you and never brought it up again and left it alone. And I do one little thing. There's not even really nothing major. I just took it upon myself to be the bigger person and apologize for it because I'm not going to do it again. And I truly am sorry for it. But this is how you come at me? You come at me with this entitlement attitude, like you entitled to be someone, and you're like, I'm a king. I said, boy, you a king. Kings take care of their queen. Kings make sure that they queen don't have to want for nothing. I want for everything around here, and you don't do anything to make sure I get it. And just to realize that I was dealing with someone such a narcissistic personality that was so strong that I knew that it was no way that I was going to be able to help him or change him or get him to see anything on my side that he needed to see to get some type of empathy with me. And that was not happening. And I knew it wasn't going to happen. So I respected it. And I knew it was just time to start making some better changes. So I did do some changes, and I'm going to talk about the reflection part of once you get out of a narcissistic relationship. If you don't reflect on the things that happen with you and find a way to cope with your emotions in a better way, you will fall into a deep depression. You will also have anxiety, and you will also repeat those moments again. And it might be in a different way where you become the narcissist and the person you get in a relationship have to deal with your behavior. So what did I do to reflect on myself? This is going to be chapter 12. Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by stress? Introducing Stress Management with Imaging Coaching, your ticket to a calmer, more balanced life. In this journey you will be taking with us here at Imaging Coaching, we'll equip you with powerful techniques and tools you can use to conquer stress, control, and transform your life. From deep breathing exercises to mindfulness practices, you'll discover the tools to relax your mind and body. Come join us on this transformative path and unlock a world of inner peace and resilience. Don't let stress hold you back any longer. Take charge of your well-being today with Imaging Coaching, your stress management team. Discover clarity. Defeat stress through Imaging Coaching at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com.